This is the Fender Acoustasonic Player JAZZMASTER. And I know there has been so many reviews of these guitars, but the problem is that everybody that does these reviews are really good players. Anything that they play on sounds nice, and I always ask myself, because I'm not a good player, you know, I grew up playing punk rock, I do not have good technique, I'm a rhythm player, I do not shred, I just have my quirks, you know? So when I'm watching these reviews, I'm always wondering, is it gonna sound good on my hands? So that's why me, as a horrible rhythm punk rock player, am doing this review for you, who's also not that good. If you are good, you can also watch it, because if it sounds good on my hands, it's gonna sound good on yours. So it's a pretty honest review, to be fair. So I've had it for a long time now, I gig with it, I recorded with it, and I've just spent hours of my afternoon doing a cool little session here, so you can listen to it with your own ears and just make up your own mind. Of course, I'll give my little opinions as well, but yeah. And make sure you stick to the end of this video, because I'm actually gonna show something really rare, which is a full mix using the Fender Acoustasonic, and also the same full mix using an actual mic'd real acoustic guitar. So stick around for that. But let's go right into it. The first thing that I noticed when I watched the other reviews is that everybody's playing really softly and nicely and finger picking and being really nice to the guitar, actually. And when I play guitar, I'm not very nice to my guitars. So I wondered how it would sound with somebody playing hard power chords on it. With the acoustic sound, with the distorted sound, I just wanted to know. So let's first start with the acoustic sound. I'm using the acoustic sound, that's the knob all the way to the left, the selector all the way to the left. That's really the only acoustic sound I like on it, so I wanted to test that one. This is how it sounds, coming directly to my interface, just plugged in there. And I recorded it twice, so I could pan one track to the left and one to the right and have a stereo, more wide guitar image. But it's just the raw sound of the guitar. So check this out. So what did you think? It definitely doesn't sound the best, does it? After listening to other guys playing it and now just playing power chords on it, I can definitely listen that power chords are a weak point when you're playing this guitar. But power chords are usually a weak point when you're plugging in any acoustic guitar, because they don't sound that good. Usually full chords sound better on acoustic guitars anyways, even if they're not plugged in. But you can get away with some power chords if you're miking up a guitar. It even sounds cool and minimalist sometimes. But when you plug in an acoustic guitar and you play power chords, it's always kind of a bad sound. But if you compare it to other acoustic guitars plugged in, it's pretty much on par with it. So I cannot really condemn this guitar based on this. What I would say is, it doesn't sound like an acoustic guitar mic'd up, as Fender might advertise, but it definitely sounds like a high-end acoustic guitar plugged in. You know, the ones with better pickups and mics inside them. It sounds good. So for this one test, it kind of fails on the power chord punk rock minimalist side, but you cannot really blame it too much, because most acoustic guitars do. Because I was curious to see if it sounded better with full chords, I played something similar using full chords, and it definitely sounds better. Check this out. See, the more complex the chords are, of course, it's gonna sound better. It just is what it is. Another thing that I would say is that this guitar benefits a lot from a little bit of EQ and a little bit of reverb. It makes it come alive. So if you're gonna gig with this live, I definitely recommend either you use the console to EQ it a little bit and give it a little bit of reverb, or you take some pedals to make sure you have a little bit of wetness in there, you know, and a little bit of EQ to make it sound better. I'm gonna play it raw and then turn on the effects in the middle so you can see how much it improves. The reverb, it's the biggest difference, I believe. So if you have the option to put reverb on it, put reverb on it. Even if it's just a small room reverb, it's gonna make a difference, believe me. And just to confirm my thoughts that this guitar is better for softer playing, I played something soft, of course, and this is how that sounds. It really shines when you make things a little bit softer, I think. But you can get away with the heavier stuff as well. In the acoustic guitar world, it's hard to make an acoustic guitar plugged in sound good for heavier stuff. It's always where it sounds kind of weird, but yeah, definitely this doesn't change that. It's not a miracle guitar. It sounds like most plugged in acoustic guitars. High-end acoustic guitars, but acoustic guitars still. Now, this guitar also has some weird simulations inside it, right? So it can simulate a clean guitar, a distorted guitar, and a lo-fi guitar. So I wanted to test that as well. So this is the clean guitar test. Sounds good, right? I think that actually sounds interesting. Like in the mix, it sounds all right. It doesn't really make me think that it's a fake acoustic guitar pretending to be an electric guitar. So I think it passes this test. But still, I had to record a normal clean guitar just to compare it. And this is a Stratocaster. Unfortunately, I do not have a JAZZMASTer to truly compare it. But you get an idea of how different it sounds. I would say for this test, I prefer a little bit the Rio guitar, the Stratocaster, but I cannot really say one it's better than the other. The other one sounds interesting. Like I can see if that's the sound I'm going for in a mix, I think it's cool. And if you're using it live, you can totally get away with that sound as a clean guitar sound. Like it's pretty good. That one's pretty good. I'm gonna say it's a pass on this test. But of course, everybody's not really curious about the clean simulation. Everybody's curious about the distorted simulation. And this one is a tricky one because I don't know how they make this happen, if they have a bunch of impulse responses in there and distortion and stuff, but they try. They try really hard. It doesn't sound bad for sure, but listen to it for yourself. I recorded again in stereo, so 2 takes, 1 to the left, 1 to the right, and I even recorded a little bit of a lead guitar in the middle just to give it a cool punky vibe, you know? Now you might be thinking it doesn't sound that bad, right? It sounds good. But listen to the Rio guitar. Going just through some amp simulation, I'm just going through Archetype Tim Henson here in a really plain setting. Like there's no effects, nothing on, the amp's pretty much everywhere in the middle. Just listen to the difference. Now I know, when you listen to the other one first, it sounded fine, but after you compare it to a Rio guitar, the difference is huge. Like the Rio guitar is much cleaner, much punchier. It just sounds better. It sounds like an actual guitar. So maybe live you can get away with it, but if there's other Rio guitars around you, people are gonna notice that your guitar doesn't really sound right, in my opinion. Just let's check one after the other so you can really hear the difference. It's less bright, it's more boxy, I don't know. It's fine. It's a good attempt, but it doesn't sound as good as a Rio guitar, in my opinion. And, you know, I'm not a metal guy. I'm not a heavy metal guy at all. But I was so tempted to try this guitar in drop D and playing something heavier. I tried. Don't be angry at me, okay? I never do this. I don't play metal ever. But I tried just, you know, to kill my curiosity and yours as well, to see if this guitar could actually be a heavy guitar. I think you already know the answer, but let's give it a listen. Again, you might be thinking it doesn't sound that bad, but listen to the Rio guitar. night and day. You see, the real guitar just sounds better. I know you're not supposed to play metal with a Jazzmaster at all. I guess, yeah, it's not an ideal test, but it shows you that the actual guitar actually still wins, even if both of them are not meant to do what they're doing. Now, lastly, I wanted to try the lo-fi setting, and that setting is really weird because it's kind of a darker, distorted sound, and I think it might sound good in lo-fi music, but I don't really know how to do lo-fi music. So I thought I'm just gonna try to play the metal thing again, because I thought that because it sounded so weird, it might sound cool, it might sound different. So this is the result. Again, that doesn't sound like a metal guitar, but that one I actually think it sounds interesting. Like depending on a mix or on a song, and I want the guitar to have a drastic change, like maybe it's really traditional and distorted in the chorus and then it's gonna fall into a weird verse. Maybe that sound would be cool. That sound, it's actually a cool sound. I'm gonna play around with it more for sure. So now let's go to an actual full finished mix using the Acoustasonic and also a real mic'd up Yamaha guitar, and let's listen to the difference. I recorded this song last week and I actually released that song on my channel here. You can check it on the link in the description below, and that was actually a real use for this Acoustasonic guitar here, because when I was doing the first version of the song, it was really late and I couldn't do any noise, but I needed an acoustic guitar to demo this song, and I used the Acoustasonic because it doesn't do a lot of noise really, and plugged in it doesn't sound that bad. Then on the other day I replaced it with the real guitar, mic'd up and sounding as good as I could make it sound. That's actually a real cool feature, and one of the reasons why I use it a lot is to play it really late or in places that I can't really be noisy. Let's check the chorus with the Acoustasonic first. And now the real guitar. Again, I bet when you listened to the Acoustasonic at first, you thought, that sounds really good. But then when the actual acoustic guitar comes in, it has a better top end, it's less boxy, it's less middly, it just sounds better. So far, people have not been able to replace an actual acoustic guitar in a room mic'd up. It's just what it is. So I think the key lesson for this whole review here is the Acoustasonic can get away with a lot of situations as long as it's in an isolated bubble where people are not gonna compare it to actual real guitars. My personal experience with it, now I'm gonna be super honest with you, I've had it for a while now. I've used it a lot. So the first reason why I use it a lot is for songwriting. Again, with this song or many other songs, if I'm demoing, writing songs, and I just can't be noisy or I don't have enough time to actually record an acoustic guitar, this guitar is great because it does sound good enough inside mixes, especially if you really put some time into EQing it and making it blend with the mix. So that's an amazing use. Another thing that I've done a lot with it, I've done some open mics with it, and it was awesome. Every time I've done open mics in the past, I was always so frustrated because I had to take this huge fat guitar. It's not comfortable to play. It's like far away from my body. I don't like playing acoustic guitars live. It's always kind of awkward to me, you know, because I've been playing normal guitars for so long. And the Acoustasonic feels just like a normal guitar. It's so comfortable, it's small, it's easy to carry, it sounds better than most acoustic guitars plugged in. It really is a win for live situations if you're playing acoustic gigs. Now, saying that, would I replace my actual guitar on a gig with the Acoustasonic if I want, for example, to have a nice acoustic sound and a distorted sound in the same set? I don't think so. Definitely if I'm gigging and I need an acoustic sound, I'm gonna use the Acoustasonic, but I'm also gonna take my normal Stratocaster as always to the gig. I say that, but most of the gigs that I play are punk rock gigs in very, very horrible venues with very horrible sound. So maybe sound-wise, because everything's so muddy and messy in there, I would be able to get away with the Acoustasonic only in a punk rock gig and just play it and it would be fine, you know? Nobody would really notice it. But still, it would be awkward to change from dirty to clean on the switch instead of a pedal, you know? So many things would be awkward and I wouldn't ever feel like I'm playing heavy enough on the Acoustasonic. It would just feel weird, you know? But yeah, I think that's basically what it is. It does not replace an electric guitar. It does not replace an acoustic guitar. It's its own thing and it's awesome. And in the end, I really enjoy it. Sometimes when I'm at home, I pick it up just because it's so nice to play on it. It's so comfortable. Even though I have my normal acoustic guitar here that sounds much better. The Acoustasonic, it's quiet, it's small, it's easy. You can just throw yourself on the couch and play it for hours. It's really nice. I hope this review helps you a little bit. I know it was a little bit messy, but I'm just doing this off the cuff. I'm always so freaked out when I see reviews on YouTube and people play so well and people never play rhythm guitars. People are always shredding, you know, and I cannot make a conclusion on how it would sound on my hands. So if you're a player that kind of sounds like me, at least now you know the Acoustasonic is still worth it. Do you want me to put any other gear into its spaces with my horrible technique? So maybe you can see if it works on your horrible technique? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like what I do, please press all the buttons around me in this world. And I see you all next time. Thank you and bye.